What's up, guys? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again. Not what a podcast episode, but I actually tried recording this before. I recorded this on my iPhone notes or audio voice memo app, and pretty much it didn't work. I tried so hard to like copy it over to my Mac, but for some reason it didn't work like how I usually do. So like I have to do this update once again, but this time I am recording it through my computer. It's just I'm not home, so I don't have my regular Yeti microphone. I'm still recording this on my phone, but if you connect your iPhone to the Mac, then you can use your iPhone as a microphone. But pretty much that explains why the quality of this will not sound that great, or I'll try to clean it up in editing, but it's not going to sound that great, to be honest. So pretty much, like I said, I've already recorded this and it was like an 11-minute recording, but for some reason I couldn't get it to transfer. So I'm gonna record this now and hopefully, this will work better than what I was trying to do before. But pretty much in that recording, I was basically addressing why I haven't been uploading episodes. And I was going to talk about basically what I'm going to do with the podcast going forward. So, why I haven't been posting episodes. Basically, to keep the long story short, from what I recorded in the last recording, I just don't even feel like explaining all of it. Like that I did last time. I'm just gonna keep it short, sweet, and simple. Basically, I haven't been recording because a lot's been going on for me, like mentally. Like I need to put more focus back in my mental health, and I feel like I haven't been doing that as much, like putting more focus onto my mental health, because truth be told, this year was a very rough year for me mentally. And I feel like my mental health has been kind of not the best since the beginning of the year, probably like late last year as well. My mom's cats is knocking over everything. But since like late last year, like probably November or December, like I really haven't been doing the best mentally. And I was trying not to get back to a point where I felt like I needed to be back on medication. But sadly, I basically got back to a point where I needed to be back on medication. So I am currently back on medication, hence why I sound a lot better than I did initially the first time I recorded this. But basically, that's why I haven't been, doing the podcast as much, because truth be told, mentally, I need to start taking care of myself, and I just need to start taking care of myself in general. Like I said, mentally, physically, I've been gaining weight and I need to lose it. Um, like I just needed more time to take care of myself. But so with that being said, for the next well, in my original recording I said for the next 2 weeks, but today is December 2nd. So next week I will not be putting out a podcast episode, but it's not like I won't be working. I will be working hard on these end of the year episodes. You guys know that the end of the year episodes are always usually my favorite episodes to do. Y'all know I like to do my Apple Music replay, which just came out as we speak, like probably a few hours ago today. So I'm gonna, start getting to work on that. I also like doing my film ranking, which when I originally reviewed or when I originally recorded this update video, basically I still had like two or three movies left until I reached at least 50. Y'all know I like to rank at least 50 movies. I finally reached my 50th movie last night at Regal's Mystery Movie. I'm debating on whether I should wait until the 15th to start putting it together, because apparently there's another mystery movie on the 15th. But I still got to think about my deadline, but I got to do my film ranking. And then y'all know at the very end of the year, the last episode of every year, I basically do like the collage, like the picture collages, and I go through and talk about like the moments that was taking place in those pictures. So y'all know I like to do the end of year stuff, and they're usually my favorite episodes. But yeah, I wasn't planning on dropping an episode this week, and I'm not going to drop one next week, but I will be working on those end of year episodes for y'all so that y'all will still get that. As far as afterwards, like starting next year, um, I can't promise, too much consistency with the podcast because, like I said, I need to start prioritizing myself more, which I feel like I don't do that enough. Um, and maybe like I don't know if you guys want to see my mental health journey and my health journey, like, obviously let me know down below. But like, I do have to start prioritizing my mental health a lot more than definitely than I've been doing these past few years because truth be told, like I said, I didn't want to get back on medication, but I knew deep down that I needed to get back on medication. My depression was definitely mm, getting the best of me for most of this year. And you know, partly I didn't want to be looked at as like a failure because it's like at one point I did work myself to get out of like needing medication, but then it's like now I fell back into it. And like, that's partly why I didn't want to like go to anybody about it or really talk about it on the pod, even though I do talk about my mental health here and there. But it's gotten to a point now where like I needed to address it. And that's kind of going to be one of my biggest focuses for next year is just basically maintaining like a good headspace and just a good space for myself in general. So, yeah. Um, but like I said, I can't promise consistency, but like you guys know when I'm feeling best, I will start like doing more podcast episodes and I want to do more in-person episodes again because I know that's what you guys like to see. Um and yeah, pretty much I think I addressed everything that I addressed in the original recording. Um I do feel like there's something I am forgetting, but I can't remember right now. There's something I feel like there's something I said in the original recording, but I just can't remember right now. Well, yeah, I guess that's really all that needs to be said. That's all I can really remember right now. But yeah, look forward to those end of year episodes, um, podcasts, all that. Like that's pretty much all I gotta say. I hope you guys, understand that and this isn't me slowing down the podcast. Oh, okay, now I remember what else I was going to say. What else I was going to say is I am currently like trying to take a social media break now. I literally did go through one day of not being on social media for most of today. Actually, yesterday I wasn't really on social media. Today I was off social media for the most part until I got a notification on my email saying that somebody was trying to sign in. So I'm like, dang, I can't even go one day, one full day of a social media break without somebody trying to sign into my account. So yeah, but what does social media got to do with the podcast? Basically, a lot of the, on the social media posts a lot of things. I get a lot of my news from there. A lot of the topics I like to talk about comes from social media, stems from social media. So like me taking this break and I don't really know how long I'm going to take this break because truth be told, someone like me, like, someone trying to get in the entertainment industry, you kind of have to use social media because it definitely helps with connections and stuff like that. But I just feel like I need a social media break. And because I won't be on there as much, then that means I got to think of like more topics at the top of my head, or maybe I might need more guests. But basically, um, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting trying to run this podcast without having social media and trying to like think of topics, which I've talked plenty of times about like not being on social media for the podcast, but like for me, or no, but this time I'm actually very serious because, like I said, I'm trying to prioritize my mental health, and like I do see the effects that social media has on my mental health, so that's why I'm trying to stay away from it. Truth be told, I probably will stay away from it until I finish writing the script for my next short film, because at that point then I'm gonna need to like get on there so that I can meet like casting or meet actors and like get a crew together for the movie. So maybe that's when I'm finally gonna get back on. But until then, like right now, I'm just chilling. I'm like I sorted out everything with the person trying to sign into my email, and I did post my Apple Music replay, but at this point I am ready to delete the apps again and not get back on. And however long that takes me to finish writing that script, then that's however long this break is going to be. But all right, I think that's everything that I had to say. um I hope you guys understand what I mean when I say, like, I have to put my mental health first. As much as I want to entertain you guys and as much as I don't want to be a burden to y'all or anybody around me, I still got to prioritize my mental health just as much as I feel like everybody should prioritize their mental health. So always do what's best for you. And even if that means needing to like detox from the world or whatever, until then do what you got to do. But yeah, like I said, no episode next Tuesday, and look forward to the end of year episodes, and then everything else will go forward from there. But with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out.